Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome to Chazzy's Game Reviews. By now I'm pretty sure you already know how this works, right? So let's just get right into it. Today's game that I'm going to be reviewing is Gears of War 4, which if you guys haven't been following along lately, I have been doing a lot of gameplays of lately, and I think that there's a lot to be said about this game, because in my opinion it is one of the best games I have ever played, Could very well be one of the best games of all time. Probably not the most popular opinion out there regarding gaming, but just hear me out, okay? Let me give my opinion, let me give my full detailed analysis, and at least you guys will understand why I think this way about it, okay? Now, for starters, I am a huge fan of the entire Gears of War franchise, alright? I've been playing them ever since the first game came out in 2006, alright? And it's just been an avalanche of gameplays and just like a lot of hours put into it, the campaigns are always amazing and the online play is very well structured, very balanced, and then there were some more modes added on in the later games, like Horde for example. But anyway, let's focus on the fourth game, okay? Gears of War 4, in my opinion, is the best game in the entire franchise, alright? No game so far has done better than it, not even Gears 5, okay? Now, it took me a long time to get around to recording this review, and I'm not even playing the game anymore at this point, but still, I think that you guys can get a very good idea of what it's like by watching my gameplays, my playlist of all the things I've done on it. But really guys, it's just an amazing game. It is awesome. And in my very humble, honest opinion as a gamer, it is flawless. There is nothing at all wrong with the game. To me, it is literally perfect. A 10 out of 10. Now, for starters, I think that it was very, very well done in terms of the single-player experience, I think that the campaign was just absolutely mind-boggling, It was just crazy. And it was very shocking in certain parts, because sometimes as gamers, when we play a game, we actually forget that we're playing something because we become so immersed into it, At times, it almost feels like we're watching a movie, especially with this generation now of gaming consoles that have 4K resolution, So I really think that certain games that we play are they feel much more than games, We really get into the experience, and I think that that's what happened in the Gears of War 4 single-player campaign. The story was so dramatic and so deep and very personal because we're sort of, the Gears of War games have always been, structured around post-war torn lands, and the planet Sarah and all of these crazy, raggedy and torn places, that were just completely ravaged by war, Everything felt so post-apocalyptic. But now, the Gears of War 4 storyline picks up 25 years after the last game, and everything is futuristic and modern, and there are robots and a lot of really cool machines, And it's very interesting taking the concept that we knew of Gears of War and putting it so far into the future, with all of these futuristic gizmos. Very, very cool. I think that Call of Duty did the same thing when they tried to go into advanced warfare than infinite warfare, but I think that the transition in Gears of War was done so much more subtly, Not exactly subtly, it was right there in your face, but I think it was cool because they still preserved some of those original post-apocalyptic elements, because now JD, which is the son of Marcus, and Anya, which is very funny because there has never been anything with those two that suggested chemistry to the point of procreating, but anyway, they had a son, they did it, and they had a son, alright, and now JD used to be a member of the COG, now he's stranded, he's part of the Outsiders community or whatever, so you still see a lot of bits of the post-apocalyptic setting from the previous games, Now they scavenge COG bases for weapons and supplies and this and that, and the story picks up at a key moment where, of course, this is not surprising at all, the Locusts have returned. The Locusts are back, Even after so many years of inactivity, they apparently mutated, they evolved, because the last thing that they in Gears of War 3 there was this thing where Marcus's dad, he sort of like released this field of energy. I guess it was I forgot what it was called, something to do with the light mass, I think it was still called that. Anyway, so it pretty much killed off all of the locust and lambent locust on the planet of Sarah, or so we thought. Now apparently this gave the locust some kind of regeneration ability where they not only resuscitated but also mutated and evolved into something that they call the Swarm now, Anyway, very good campaign. There were a few moments where I almost cried, especially when I thought Marcus died because he was taken by a snatcher, and then, eventually taken somewhere. Then when you finally find him, it seems like it's his dead body, you know. I really almost cried. It's crazy. It's crazy, you know. This game really didn't pull any punches at all. And then, of course, there was the time when you saw Cole and Baird again at the end of the game. That was so cool, so nostalgic, you know. Especially if you're a fan of the original Gears games where all of these characters do appear, you know. Very, very awesome. I really loved it, you know. And they played an important part towards the end. When I saw Marcus again, how could I forget about Marcus? Seeing Marcus again for the first time was amazing, you know. With his old man beard, his ruggedy appearance, you know, and still the same attitude as before. I love seeing Marcus again, you know. And now apparently Baird is married to Anya, you know, Sam, you know, you guys remember Sam from Gears of War 3, they were always bickering and it seemed like they hated each other. So it actually does make sense that eventually a romance developed, you know. It was really, really cool. The campaign had a lot of really good moments, you know, and different kinds of threats now, because now there are storms called wind flares, I believe, that threaten you as you play the game. And, you know, you don't fight just the locusts, you also fight the cog, you know, with the DBs, they're robots and this and that. A lot of trackers, you know, so I think that there's a lot of really good variety to the game, especially in the single player campaign. You really feel like there's a lot at stake. You know, it really captures how there's a war going on, you know, and the stakes are very high and it's a very large scale thing, you know, so very cool. Very satisfying campaign, very satisfying, very much worth the wait. Now, in terms of versus, which is something that I don't really play too much in Gears of War, I used to be addicted back in the day of the first Gears and then Gears of War 2, you know. And I think that trying to play online after so many years, you know, made me really suck. You know, I think that, you know, I was completely blown away by all the younger players who were just about the age that I was back when I played the original Gears Online. I was a monster. Me and my friends, we were beasts, you know, we would kill everyone. But trying to play online is a hindrance today because everyone is so much better than I am, you know. I'm an old man. I don't play online anymore. I'm just a veteran without any more skills. But I think that the online experience, despite frustrating for me because I'm not as good as I used to be, is very, very streamlined. It's not, I could say it's balanced, you know. The teams are always, sometimes there is a little bit of a power struggle, like one team is going to be massively superior to the other and sometimes the opposite, you know. But sometimes you do get a stalemate, you do get a very balanced match, you know, where there are kills on both sides, you know, and the scores are very close. And there are more game modes now, you know. I do believe that we still have the originals, you know, Warzone and King of the Hill and sort of like dynamics of Annex, you know. There are a few new games. I think Oddball is a new one, you know. There's Team Deathmatch, which I think is sort of like self-explanatory. It's always been there. There's 2v2 Nashers now, which is teams of two going up against each other with only Nashers, kind of similar to Wingman if you guys remember Gears of War 2. And there are a lot of game modes. I can't really list them right now because I don't play online too much, so I can't really talk about that a lot. But I think that it's very, very interesting. If you have a good internet connection like I do, the game runs very smoothly, even more smoothly than offline, you know. Very, very high frame rate, you know, no lag at all. And I think that it's really, really cool how they implemented all these systems, you know. And when you get a kill, it feels good, you know, it really feels good. And I do believe that the game has become much more, it's become way more fun than it used to be, you know, if you're good, you know. If you're not, then yeah, I didn't have a very good time playing online, even when I was, you know, doing okay. But I think that if you enjoy playing online, Versus is definitely going to entertain you for many, many, many hours to come. And I think that there is more variety because there are different maps now and there's different weapons, you know. I didn't even get to the weapons yet, did I? I'm gonna take advantage of this time here to talk about the weapons. There are a lot of new things that you can use, both offline and online. My favorite weapon is the Overkill. You know, I really like the Overkill. It's basically like an upgrade of the Nasher shotgun. It's a shotgun that shoots out 2 different shots. You know, like if you hold the trigger button, it shoots. You release it, it shoots again. So if you tap the trigger button, it's like poof, 2 shots in like the blink of an eye. It's my favorite weapon. I used it a lot in my gameplays. I really, really like it because it's so easy to get kills, you know. And there are some new ones. Of course, there are a lot of weapons coming back, like of course the Nasher, the Lancer. Then we have the Boltok pistol, which I think is severely underpowered in this game, you know. I think it used to be a lot stronger in other games in the past. And they kind of twerked the animation when you get headshots. The popping isn't as pronounced as it used to be. I kind of really wanted that to be a feature that was still around. And of course we still have the boom shot, you know. And now there's this new thing called the Talon pistol, which I'm not that big of a fan of, you know. I don't know, it's just I always prefer a Boltok when I take a pistol into action. And there's also the Enforcer, you know, different versions of that, which are the weapons that the DB robots use, you know. I'm not a very big fan of it, you know. When it comes to rifles, I always carry the Lancer with me, you know. And the long shot, the Marksa, those are still around. There have been a few new weapons, but I can't remember all of them right now. Oh yes, there's the drop shot. Not a big fan of that one. It's basically a gun that you shoot and it kind of finds a target and then sort of like landmines into them. I'm not a big fan of that one. Even more so the Buzzkill. It's a huge gun that's very heavy that shoots out buzzsaws, but it's pretty much useless. I never get kills with it. I never seen anyone get a kill with it actually. I don't think I've ever been killed with a buzzsaw. A buzzkill, you know, it's just a terrible weapon. Very cumbersome, very stupid. I'm not a big fan. But anyway, that's pretty much all I can say about that, all of the new features. We have now something called vaulting, right? You can vault over cover now and smack an enemy. You can kick them and then do a really cool execution. I did it a lot in Horde, you know, and a lot of other things. Very, very cool, very nice system. And you can pull enemies from out of cover, you know. They can also do it to you, but you can counter it, so, you know. But I guess that's pretty much it for that. Now we're gonna get into my favorite aspect of any Gears of War game besides campaign, which is Horde. Horde is something that you can play offline, you know, with friends or by yourself. You know, of course it's easier with friends. It's basically like a survival mode where it's like an onslaught of enemies coming at you, wave after wave after wave. They get more numerous and stronger, you know. I can play by myself because I have a maxed out scout class with level 6 on all my skill cards, so I'm pretty much invincible. You know, I cannot be killed unless something really stupid happens, like I get grenade tagged or something, or a drop shot, you know. But, you know, I think that Horde 3.0 is really, really streamlined. It's much more, it's revamped, you know, and there's this thing now called the Fabricator that you can take with you into battle, and you can use it to build fortifications and weapons, you know, and it's really, really cool. It's really awesome. And the gameplay in Horde is really, really addictive. You can get addicted to Horde in Gears 4 very, very quickly, trust me. And I can play it for hours and hours and hours by myself with no friends, and it's still as awesome as if you played it with a full team. Now, Horde is the kind of thing that you can use to train a lot, or you can get different achievements, you know, and there's also this thing called skill cards that you can use to upgrade your characters, you know. And if you've played Star Wars Battlefront 2, it's very similar. I do believe that Battlefront 2 came afterwards, so I think it copied a little bit of that, or the other way around. I'm pretty sure Gears of War 4, having come out in 2013, was the basis, the inspiration for Star Wars Battlefront 2. And I do believe that it's very, very cool because you can use any weapon you want. You can construct the weapons in the Fabricator. The enemies are very numerous in variety. A bunch of different ones come at you, you know, and they get harder and harder as the waves go by, you know, but it's really cool. It's really, really awesome. And it's a way for you to test out all the different weapons in the game like I do, you know. And it's really awesome. It's really, really cool. I love Horde. I really do. Whenever I play Gears of War 4 nowadays, it's just to play Horde. I don't play online. I haven't really been to the campaign too many times, so I'm basically always playing Horde. It's much more fun than Horde in Gears 5, I'll tell you that. I'm gonna get to Gears 5 later when I review that one, but I still prefer Gears of War 4 over Gears 5. Yes, it's crazy, I know. Now, if you guys want to check out how the game works, you can go to my playlist and see all the gameplays, you know, and I also did a kill montage to show you guys how awesome I am in the game, all of the different kills that I get with a few different weapons and this and that, so you guys can check that out too to see how the game works and how some of the weapons are. It's kind of like a mixture between a Horde and online, but mostly Horde, you know, because that's where I can farm kills to show you guys. And I have been playing on casual, the easiest difficulty, because I don't like to rage, and I know that it's better to give you guys gameplay. Like, I'm gonna get more kills on casual, but it's probably more entertaining for you guys if I play on hardcore or insane, because I'll die much more often, so you guys will probably laugh at my rage. But I can't because I have anxiety, you know, my blood pressure goes through the roof, so I literally can't get too angry. If I get too stressed out, I might even have a panic attack. So more on that later on another video. But anyway, guys, I think that Gears of War 4 is a solid gameplay experience, you know, a perfect 10 out of 10. Like I said before, this game to me is flawless. I may very well go on to say it's one of the greatest games of all time, you know. It's probably not the absolute best, because there are a few games that are a little more influential and a little higher up on my list, but it's definitely there. I have a top 10 list of my favorite games of all time, and Gears of War 4 is really high up there after I played it. I'm going to give you guys a list of my favorite games, and you guys can tell me what you think. But in general, Gears of War 4 was just a far cry from the original series, a very good way to modernize it, you know. Gears 5 hopped on the bandwagon. It wasn't too impressive. I did not like Gears 5 too much. More on that later. But Gears of War 4 is a solid experience. a definite flawless 10 out of 10, perfect game. I have no criticism at all towards it, you know. That's why I say it's one of the best games I have ever played, and I definitely recommend it. If you guys have an Xbox One and Xbox Game Pass, it's free, you know. Just to go and download it, right, and just play it. And if you guys want to hit me up later on Xbox Live to play it, my gamer tag is Chesterfield. So yeah, let's play, guys. We can do some Horde, some campaign, whatever you guys want. So I guess that's it, guys. I think that's all I can say about Gears of War 4. Alright, very cool game, very awesome. I really like it, you know, and it's my favorite in the series. So that's it, guys. Alright, that's all I have to offer you for now. I'm sorry that this video took so long to come out. I've just been really busy with my personal life outside of YouTube. Okay, I got a new job, so my schedule has been a little crazy. But now I'm on vacation, so I'm going to be trying to record a bunch of videos for you guys while balancing out other things, okay? So that's it. I hope you guys play Gears of War 4 and enjoy it. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and I will see you guys in my next video.